Hello Story Chasers, this is Amber again, and today I have some special guests with me who have this Airstream behind me. You might have seen them in some of my other videos. If not, take a look up at this video right here. This is Mark, and this is Grant. And we're gonna get a tour of their Airstream, which is
2018 27-foot Globetrotter.
And it's absolutely beautiful inside. And you guys know that I'm looking for a truck and trailer option, which is why we're gonna also tour this and hear their story about why they started RVing in the Airstream. So you guys actually have a house and you bought the RV. There's a lot of us who are out there full-timing it, but you're kind of part-time.
Exactly. We used to camp quite a bit, and we used tents and backpacks and lugged all kinds of stuff around with us, and just got to be the point where it was like I didn't want to sleep on the ground anymore. We wanted something that we would enjoy, and we decided on an Airstream because we thought they were pretty much top of the line.
They are. They're really beautiful. Now, you started out in a different one, right?
25-foot, yeah. We originally had a 25-foot Airstream that we loved. It was our first thing that we purchased and really enjoyed. But after 9 months, we realized we really like to have a bed on a north-south orientation as opposed to an east-west. And the extra 2 or 3 extra feet inside of this has made all the difference for us. So we upgraded to the Globetrotter when it came available.
And it has a real kitchen to cook in.
He's a big chef, so.
He is. Don't even take
I like to cook, and I like to eat.
Me too.
And I like to eat his food too. What made you want to actually get out there and start RVing?
A lot of our friends were all going to Europe and traveling and doing the bus tours, 3 cities in 3 nights kind of thing, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I said to Grant, I said, why don't we see our country first and see all of the national parks and all of the beauty that's here in the United States. That's kind of what brought us to it.
And so how many places have you guys been to in the RV?
Not nearly enough. Since we're East Coast based, we've been primarily camping in East Coast locations. We haven't been able to do a big trip out west yet with work concerns and of course COVID and family obligations. So we're doing this larger trip up to Canada now, but most of our excursions have been to Maine or the Outer Banks, up to the Adirondacks a lot, which is our backyard, and we love it up there.
So boondocking, you said you haven't really been out west in the Airstream, so it's a lot different out west. You've heard of boondocking, you and I've talked a lot about that. Is that something that you think might be in your future, or are you just gonna do the hookups?
Definitely boondock curious.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We're outfitted with solar on this rig as well, and we do have a generator. And the camping in New York State parks, almost all of them are dry camping anyway, so we do have experience of not having full hookups. Don't let this fancy interior or exterior fool you. We are used to be able to do some of the traditional primitive camping.
She's called the Lake House because Grant wanted to camp lakeside for as many trips as we can get her out, and we decided that was a fitting name.
And also, Mark actually wanted a real lake house, like a physical structure on a lake, and this was a step in that direction, so we dubbed this one the Lake House. So at the front of our Airstream here, we have our standard propane tanks. These are 30-gallon propane tanks. On the front is a power jack that allows us to easily lift and lower the trailer as needed for hookups. And the really interesting part of the front of the rig here is actually our 3-point ProPride hitch. This hitch is great for weight distribution as well as anti-sway. We had a previous equalizer hitch. We upgraded to this when we got our new F350 pickup truck. Night and day difference with the towing on it. Additionally, on the front of the rig, we have rock panels. These are stainless steel rock panels. We have solar guards on the front as well as on the front window here. So this is simply a cover, and that's the glass behind you there. One of the things a lot of people talk about with Airstreams is their ability to either have more external storage than other units or less. It's a divided camp in there. I actually think the Airstream has a little less outside storage, but they've made very efficient use of it. We have a front bedroom queen model here, so underneath the queen bed we have outside storage. In this area here, we put primarily our tools needed to use on the jack, as well as any quick outdoor sewer hose attachments. We had a solar package installed on this unit. With that, we also included AGM batteries. 2 of those batteries are located here in the battery compartment. They've been great. We've had no issues or problems with them.
Do you actually have a battery monitoring kit so you know what your battery charge is of the AGMs?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a panel on the inside to monitor. There's also an external or a panel mounted in here where the solar hookup is. So we have two ways to check the battery status at all times. This is a real easy operation. You simply grab it, pull it out, and hook it in. You're ready to go. This Airstream is equipped with 4 electric stabilizers. So these are electric powered by individual motors. These are not used to level your rig, rather just to provide stabilization from side to side movement once you have the rig leveled out. That's where the Stinky Slinky goes. That's the sewer hose storage. It is standard, it comes on the Airstream. Some people mount a secondary PVC tube next to it to put their fishing poles in. Airstream includes a great light to be used as well in their sewer hookups here. In case you have to do any kind of dumping at nighttime, it's very convenient and handy. Standard black tank located on this side, a gray tank located on this side, and that's where the main business happens. Outdoor shower. All Airstreams on this size come with an outdoor shower. Great place to wash the dogs with. This is where we fill 39 gallons of fresh water for the onboard tank. City water inlet. This comes with a pressurized valve on it already, so you just simply hook up your city water inlet here. Underneath the city water inlet, and don't get these confused, this is actually the black tank flush.
Oh.
So as you're cleaning out your black tank, if you hook up your orange hose or your non-potable water hose to this, there are some spinners that activate inside of the black tank itself. Washes down a lot of the sides. Dump that out through your valve as well. It's a great thing to do while you're at the campground. It keeps all the nasty stuff at a minimum. This is our condenser unit for the refrigerator. This is a 3-way Dometic, so it runs off of propane, electric, or battery charge. By having the solar on the top, we put it on battery charge when we're driving down the road. We're able to keep our refrigerator completely cold using the solar power, the electric charge, the truck. Never have to touch the propane with it. We usually switch to propane when we get to a camp if we don't have any hookups. This is the exhaust vent for the outdoor furnace. This runs off of propane. We also have 2 units up on top of the roof that provide a heat pump, but those only operate to about 46 degrees. Anything below that we use the furnace for. Furnace also heats the tanks, so you can do below freezing camping. By running the furnace, you'll have hot air going in both to your gray tank, your fresh tank, and your black tank. So here at the back of the rig, we actually have some rear bumper storage. It's a great place to put our leveling blocks. We have a collapsible rake that we get to keep in there, as well as some sewer hookups. This area gets wet and dirty being at the back of the rig, so don't put anything precious back here. Included with the awning package is a back awning here. Same operation as we had on the side. Pull it out, attach the small props on the side there, and it'll stay in place. With the Globetrotter awning package, this happens to be the Zip-D electric awning. It is a great feature to have. It works fairly slow. It's not a quick awning, but then again, neither is the manual awning. Honestly, I think I would probably go back to a manual awning only because this tends to be slightly temperamental, in my opinion. This is a propane-fired hot water tank as well as an electric hot water tank. The propane is fired typically when we're dry camping. We have full hookup, so we will use the hot water hookup. Holds about a 6-gallon capacity in the hot water tank, and here's this exhaust. Next to it is a standard outside ground faulted outlet, so a great place to plug in for any music. Some people are using outdoor theaters, putting a sheet up. Talk about glamping. This is actually the outside box where the leveler switches are controlled from. So this is under lock and key, so nobody can come around and mess with you. But simply unlock that, hit these buttons, and your rig, once it's on level, will get the stabilization effect. Let's talk about the Airstream door. These, as you hear from the Airstream factory, take about 8 hours to handcraft. These are like aircraft doors. They have a real solid weight to them, and I want you to hear the thud when it closes. It's kind of like a bank vault.
It is.
These steps, these are the traditional Airstream folding aluminum steps. You can always tell the newer Airstreams because they have all aluminum steps, whereas some of the older Airstreams have a black metal step. Very simple, easy operation.
Whew,
In, out of place. Very loud. Yeah, these are not, you don't want to do this in the middle of the night. You'll definitely upset your neighbors. Oh, another nice feature of the door here too is the screen door. So all TIG welded throughout the front here. Great barriers. We travel with dogs, so the dogs don't run through the screens here. A lot of good ventilation. And this little cubby here, you might want to take a look at, allows you to slide in and out. So you'd actually, tend to use it as a place to hand out paper plates and cups and things like that to mark when one of us is cooking and one of us is not. So
I love it. Quick question about the door.
Yeah.
How does it stay back? So like if wind comes, will it be secure?
yeah, no, that's a great question, Amber. So this has a little locking mechanism here that's mounted on the side that it catches on. You can see there's a little grip right here that'll catch on. And that keeps it right in place. There's no issue with it. Again, like a bank vault.
I love it. All right, in we go.
Here we go. Come on, let's do this.
I'm coming.
All right, all right.
Ah.
So welcome to the lake house. This is, again, a 27-foot Globetrotter. This is a front bedroom queen, or what you'll see is an FBQ. So the queen bed is located at the front of the rig. In the back is the dinette section. This also serves as kind of like the all-purpose gathering area. So this area will convert to additional sleeping. In the center of the rig, we have our kitchen prep area. As we talked about before on this 27-foot versus our 25-foot, this kitchen is actually significantly bigger than we had on the 25-foot International Serenity. As you go down the rig a little bit, you'll see that we have what's called a split bath. That means the bathroom is actually split up into two different functions. On one side is the showering aspect of the split bath. On the other side is the head, so you'll have your toilet and your sink in that area. So one of the reasons that we decided to go with the Airstream, we fell in love with this interior. We live in a log cabin on 20 acres in upstate New York. So the idea of getting into an RV that was with wood paneling, the traditional plaids and things like that really didn't appeal to us because we already actually have that back at our house. This interior just kind of like sang to us. It's very contemporary, it's very clean lines, it's very smooth. People are like, you have white cabinets and you go camping? Are you kidding me? It's not that hard to keep clean. They designed it in such a way that the materials are stain resistant. Like I said, we camp with our dog, so we've had a lot of mud inside of this, a lot of wood smoke, a lot of wood chips from being out. And it's still cleaned up well. We've been in this rig now for going on 3 years. The things I really like about the Airstream are their design cabinets here. These have some really great hinges, so they have a bit of a snap to them back, but they open up really nicely and easily. DVD storage is in here. Everybody puts different things where they want them. It takes a little while, I think, to figure out where people want their stuff in their camper. For us, we find that a lot of things that we're going to quickly use outside go into this area. On this side, a lot of this is all about the dog. So dog toys, more dog toys, and even some more dog toys.
That's the most important.
There's some DVDs here if we get back on rainy days, some extra battery-powered lighting if we find we're in an area that doesn't have any hookups or electricity. So we have some solar lights and LED-powered lights. And then the dinette area. We've actually been able to comfortably seat 4 adults. They say that this is a camper that will sleep 6 people. They must be little people, and we are obviously not little people. So 4 adults will comfortably fit in this. We've had our brother and sister-in-law sleep in this area here, and the couch and lounge area actually pulls out and becomes an additional sleeping area as well. So a lot of functionality takes place here. Table easily lowers and rises with a flip of a couple of just knobs down here on the bottom. You just pull these 2 levers and this table will collapse right down. We do keep all the additional cushions on board though to create a good sleeping area for people when they're here. There is a lot of storage on this. Here we keep a lot of our extra cooking utensils because no camping experience is good without a classic 1935 or 1940 Toastmaster waffle iron. Thank my husband for that one. Additional pots and pans are in this area. I had also mentioned about the additional sleeping area that can take place up here, and that's through this pull-out shelf, actually. There are 2 cushions that are stored in the front of the rig that come onto this area, and this becomes basically a good twin-size mattress for somebody to sleep on.
That's pretty substantial, actually.
Yeah, it is pretty good. The question becomes when you have somebody sleeping at that end, where do the heads go and where do the feet go?
Oh.
Because they have to agree.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to wake up with like your head and somebody else's feet. Or maybe they do, but we don't. So here's some more additional storage. Again, very thoughtful. Here we keep, I can't believe this, here we keep our Le Creuset Dutch oven because no camping trip is good without one. As well as some additional manuals. Airstream's really great about giving you a full kit of manuals and all the information that goes along with it with all the different manufacturers. One of the fun things about getting a camper or an RV to be able to personalize it and make it your own is adding stuff that didn't come with it originally. I'm like a maven for lighting. Lighting is really, really important to me. I had to buy special filters to put on these LED lights because they were too bright white or blue light, so I tried to make them a little bit warmer. Mm-hmm. But these Fat Boy lamps are like the bomb. Mm-hmm. There's a little Fat Boy. So these are LED, battery powered. They plug right into our USB ports that we have located throughout the unit here. And they have, this one happens to be Cowboy paint by number. See, that's like the side that's done, and this would be me. I didn't do anything. Probably would have been outside of the lines. But these Fat Boy lamps, these are simply little plastic covers that come on them. And these things you can pick up online. I love these things. No camping trip would be complete unless we had our Travel Gnome with us. And this was given to us by our dear friend, who sadly is no longer with us. But we take this little gnome with us, and it's always a good remembrance of our friend Paul.
Aw, that was sweet.
So we picked this layout with a front bedroom queen and a rear back dinette area because we found that most of the campsites we go to, we back into. Most of those campsites are lakeside campsites. So what we found is when we back into these sites, we have this fantastic view of the water, typically right from the area that we're eating. Some people are like, I want my bedroom by the water. That's where I want to be, and they can do a rear bedroom for that capacity. We kind of figure, well, you know, when we're in the bedroom, our eyes are closed. We don't really see anything. We don't want to be bothered with things. So we kept our bedroom up at the front. This provides, through these wraparound windows, just an immense amount of light and ventilation that'll come in. It's one of the classic features of an Airstream is having those curved round windows. And I think you can see from this rig, it's full of light. It's a little hard because we're inside of our barn right now, but it's full of light. This unit is equipped with 2 skylights. There is one in the front it's actually in the hallway between the shower and the bathroom, a second skylight here over the dining area, and a fantastic fan unit. Great for ventilation. Love these things. This unit does have 2 compressors on top. Sometimes you only get one. If that, you actually get a second fantastic fan in the front.
So with the fantastic fans, the windows open, do you feel like it really stays pretty cool in here? Because you do have so many windows, it could let too much sun in.
Right, that's a great question. There are times where we will pull the shades on some of the windows. We'll typically, if we're leaving for the day, but we want the unit to still be ventilated well enough, we crack 2 windows, usually one at the front, one at the back, then turn the fantastic fan on, and there's a constant airflow that comes in. So it doesn't, being an aluminum skin, it could heat up like a tin can, like a Jiffy Pop. We don't really want to come home to that, so therefore we just keep some ventilation going on for us. So this is my second favorite part of the Airstream. My first favorite part is the Airstream itself. So you got like Sophie's Choice, pick your favorite children. It's like, oh, I love the kitchen area of this. This Airstream is equipped with a really nice, I believe it's a Moen stainless steel sink. Really great faucet features. You know, this comes out, becomes a sprayer nozzle. There was some controversy on the overall design of the cabinets and countertops here because you have these 2 areas in the back here which actually have small trash cans in them. And some people are like, well, why do you want your trash up there? Because there's actually a larger trash can in the bottom here. We find these a great place for dog poo bags, for leashes, for extra sponges, for trash bags. This side will hold soaps, sponges as well. Sometimes we put onions, fresh produce, and things like that in there. But it's a great place to keep those. All of these countertop pieces go away into the different cabinets and different cupboards as well. So you do have the ability to take them out, increase your cupboard space, or put them away and have the open sink area. This Airstream is equipped with a 3-burner gas range. Has a great glass cover here. Nice cast iron grates. We added these on ourselves. This was an add-on. They typically come with those skinnier metal grates that a lot of people complain about, but thanks to Airstream addicts and different people like you who are putting out all this wonderful information, people like me can find out about stuff like this to improve the rig. We really wanted a propane oven on our rig. Our original one had simply a convection microwave, which we don't microwave food, and we weren't happy cooking with a convection microwave, so the gas propane stove for us was a must-have, and this one had it, and it's been great. Good muffins, good roast chicken, good biscuits. But for those out there who like their Stouffer's meals while they're camping, you do have a microwave here, and we use it to hold like dog biscuits and potato chips, but it comes with the rig, so people could like it. Where do you want to keep stuff in your rig? What's comfortable for you? And actually, I find that I readjust where things are stored for the most part, maybe twice a year. I fine-tune things as I come along between what we're using and what we're not. Again, these are lighted cabinets. This will typically hold our wash bin for dishes, our drain rack. When we do dry camping, we do use a lot of paper plates because it's just the easiest way when you have limited amount of water that you can use. Coffee makers, teapots, teas, all that is typically stored up here. And what's also nice, I'm going to take this out here, is for people who are vertically challenged, like Amber, perhaps yourself. Not that I'm saying anything wrong with that, because I love vertically challenged
Short people.
Yes, totally do. They put mirrors here so you can actually see what you're reaching for. So if you had ingredients up here or different provisions, your cereal, your oatmeal, things like that, you could reach up and still see what you're doing without worrying about getting on top of a ladder. I don't have that problem. This is our silverware drawer. When we first decided that we were going to get by the Airstream, it was like a really emotional thing for both Mark and I to do. We were so excited to be getting an Airstream, and of course, we being us, we had to kind of like figure out how we were going to start decorating it almost immediately. So Mark found these very cool Swedish or Danish modern silverware, flatware that we used to go camping with. But it is really cool.
And dangerous.
And dangerous. They do poke your lips out. Again, we have additional storage here, so we'll put our towels in here. So candles, can openers, pot holders. We've decided to start taking up looming our own pot holders while we're camping. So
Beautiful.
And then an additional area here where we keep our toaster.
Okay.
For the few times that we can toast. And then underneath this area is our seltzer machine and some additional cups. This is actually kind of ingenious, I thought. So this is actually the cutout for the drain to go through. But cutting boards, lots of incidentals that are located here. In the bottom, all of our pots and pans. If you've ever tried to arrange all of your lids with all of your pans, don't make yourself crazy anymore. Get these silicone rubber lids because they fit on multiple pans, and you don't have to worry about what happens to them. No more of that noise. Additional pantry storage located here. Nobody goes camping without Jeff, unless you're a Skippy person, and then you probably go camping with Skippy. Keep our coffee maker up here. Dog bowls. Again, lots of things are for the dogs, but they're part of our family. When we don't use paper plates, we break out the fine china. So, in typical fashion, everybody has a double insulated tumblers of a variety of capacities, great coffee cups. When you're feeling really fancy, you use something like this because you can wash it out. All of our regular dishes that are located in the bottom here as well. And then last but not least, just another small cubby area. This is where we put a lot of our cooking utensils, spatulas, spoons, serving utensils, etc. This area is actually an interesting area because it's above the refrigerator and you'd think you'd have a lot of space up here. But you don't. It's actually really kind of a skinny space. But it's perfect to put a cookie jar and a pitcher. Here we have our control panels for our solar and for our battery, so you can see what your current output is and where your amperage and watts that are using. There's also a Polk sound system here. This will power multiple speakers and a subwoofer throughout the rig, and both TVs are hooked up to it as well. This is a three-way, as I mentioned before, a three-way Dometic refrigerator. So we have a full refrigerator here on the bottom. We just plugged this in. We're getting ready for our trip in a couple of days to Prince Edward Island, so I'm just now getting it cool. These take about 24 hours. These are traditional evaporation units, not a condenser unit that the Airstream has now moved to. Keeps our s'mores nice and cool. And then up above, we have our freezer compartment. And typically what we'll keep in there is ice cream, ice cubes, and more ice cream. What I really like about the Airstream too is the ingenuity they put in play to create different spaces. Again, this isn't a huge rig. It's big. It's bigger than Amber's van, but it's not huge, right? It's not like one of these like massive things. But what we have here on basically a hospital track is a privacy curtain. So this divides the unit in half. So you can have people out here who are cooking, talking, gathering, and that type of stuff. People are running inside and out. In the back area here, you have people, well, probably not people, probably a person, showering, bathing, getting cleaned up, all the clothing, storage units and everything is there. So this is a great privacy curtain that creates. In the center of the coach and underneath this additional skylight, we have a large wardrobe. There's actually really great storage in here. We keep our stick vacuum in here, place for hanging clothes. We'll stick a lot of our daily wear on this side, towels, all sorts of incidentals. I keep a computer printer up there for when I need to print things off. An emergency ladder to be able to jump out the rig in case you need to, because the emergency exit's in the front. How did we know that? Because we had to jump out the rig one time, and we'll save that for another video. It's always good to have an exit plan and a way to get out of your rig in case an emergency does arrive, so think about that. Here is the shower unit. It's actually fairly sizable. I'm 6'1". Well, my husband will say I'm not. I'm actually probably a little over 6 foot, but I like to say I'm 6'1" in my flip-flops. I fit in there fine. It's plenty of ample space to provide everything you need to shower up. With 39 gallons of fresh water on board, you can take pretty decent showers here. We find that we can go about 4 days for 2 men, showering every day and using incidentals for fresh water for cleaning and drinking, and get by with no problem. This is like this round portal, and you can see all the little screws and rivets and go in. This is a really nice detail. I just love this thing because it's like, again, very ship-like. This is actually the bathroom. And everybody's always has so many questions about the bathroom, and it's like, well, what's this bathroom like, and how big is it, and is it very comfortable, and anything like that? Or the answer is yes. It is a gravity toilet, so that means that this toilet actually sits right above the black tank. You do your business, hit the button, and everything goes down, fill it up with water as you need. The switches for the hot water heater are located here, both the gas and the electric. If you need to do a quick replenish of your hot water, you can hit both of those on, assuming you have full hookups. If not, the gas will reheat your tank pretty quickly. It's a great place to shower, shave, take care of everything. And as I had mentioned, when you're having this privacy curtain that's across here, this door pretty much hangs in the center here. Your towel comes here. You have the whole entire front end of the coach to get ready in. So it's not bad. If I were to change anything on this unit, I probably would not do a queen. I would probably do 2 twins, because you could actually have the full length of the rig to walk back and forth on. You could have one bed to throw all your clothes on and gear and stuff like that, and another bed to kind of like use to get ready with. But that's the only thing I would change, I think, at this point. So this is the front of the coach. We have additional overhead storage here, and again, these are all the same aircraft type of hinges and storage units. More mirrors, so you can see what we're doing in here. We typically put bags of clothing up here, so we both have canvas bags that we do for our packing. We put a lot of clothing in that, shove it up in here. It's quick access to be able to get what you need for the day to change with. There's also onboard speakers everywhere, so it's got a great sound system. One of the things I really love, though, about having this queen bed is all the storage that's available underneath it. That's accessed through simply lifting this up. What you'll see here, these are the cushions that go onto part of the couch there to create the additional sleeping space. We keep additional sheets, a sleeping bag, have our Coleman stove here, additional solar lights, shoes, gear. You see we have our air pump there, an extension cord. Just lots of storage here. You can also actually get storage to the very front of the rig as well if you needed to. I think you'd have to have really skinny arms, but you could probably do it. And I leave that side of the bed to actually use as our clothes hamper. A lot of people are like, what do you do with dirty clothes? Where do you put all your dirty clothes? And so we put them under the bed here. You can access it from outside. You don't have to lift the bed. You just drop it in on the side there. Keeps all your dirty clothes out of the way. You don't have to worry about it. So this rig has a tufted needle RV queen, so they're not like regular size queens. They're a little bit shorter, and these have rounded edges here. This is a memory foam mattress. This thing is so good.
Does it come standard?
It came standard with this. There's also additional nightstands on either side, which is a really nice touch. There's a padded headboard here. There's storage underneath the nightstands, and you know, because like I said, I love my light. So here's another Fat Boy light. Again, we do boondock from time to time, so we can hang these here if we don't have any power to hook up. I have hooks throughout, and we can put these lanterns inside of the coach as well.
I love it.
Yeah, these are fun. Also, we'd mentioned that this was the lake house, so we're camping in Maine at Lily Bay State Park, and we went into town there up at Moosehead Lake, and found this and was like, oh well, this is perfect for us. So we have that there.
Hello, Story Chasers. This is Amber again, and today I have with you Mark and Grant.
Actually, I'm Grant.
Sorry, oh my god, I went the other way. Sorry. Let's do this all over again. I was thumbing the wrong way.
And Mark is always the first one typically anyway, so. Here we keep a lot of our extra cooking utensils because, no camping experience is good without a classic 1935 or 1940 Toastmaster waffle iron. Thank my husband for that one. Additional pots and pans are in this area. As I had mentioned.
Stop for a second. Oh my god, I'm dying. Guys, thank you so much for letting me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Gotta let her
I haven't
finish
even
her
said the thing. Guys, thank you so much for letting me view your Airstream. It was such a treat, and I love it. So if you're ever deciding to sell it, let me know.
You will be the first person on our list.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so cute.